find some success?
You know, we were fired up, and as you know, Curtis, for us, affecting the quarterback can be with pressure, with four-man rush. It's an area that we've been emphasizing hard, and the guys, for them to have the plan and feel the four-man rush working together, I thought it was important for us to come together and do that. It really did.
Was some of it the fact that last year you guys played with the lead so much, you were able to go after them a little bit more too at times, and this year you guys haven't had those bigger leads to some extent where you haven't had a chance to just send everybody like you used to?
I think really, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because sometimes I feel like in the third down, those are some of the numbers that can really, pin our ears back and go. So for us, creating some of the longer third downs, that'll certainly help too. But for us to play better on third down was certainly a reflection of not just the coverage, not just the pressures, but also the four-man rush. And I think for third down, in our opinion, to be effective, it has to be all three of those elements working together. And that's what we saw in that game.
How about what Bruce brought, especially in the last possession?
The finishing part to me was the thing that stood out the most in a 2-minute drive when you get the chance to go compete, with your guys. For him to go finish like that, Claire, was one of the things that stood out to me. We always take great pride in the way that we want to try and finish games. And so for us to finish it in that fashion, to get 4 shots at it at the end to go win a game, it's really, as a defensive coach and as a player, it's really the moments that you cherish to say, okay, here's an opportunity for us to go finish, and then to show the grit and the battle to go through it. It was a great opportunity for him, and totally came through for us.
It was a preseason game, but I imagine Carr has your guys' attention, given the way he played against you.
Yeah, and we've been through all the games, and so I think coming out, you knew this guy had the talent to play quarterback in this league, and he certainly proved that through the first half of the season. He's certainly somebody that we hold in high regard, and for us, the preparation and back into the week, from competition was and turnover Thursday and all the alerts that go in for us, we try to make each week as much about us as we can. But he's certainly somebody that we hold in high regard.
Is he unique these days in that how much he throws the ball downfield, especially for a younger quarterback who seems to be think and done?
Yeah, I think you're onto it there. There is more shot plays. He has confidence to throw the ball deep to some of the guys in all situations, not just on a first, second down, a shot play, but we've seen that in all down and distances. So yeah, he's definitely one that's aggressive and trusts himself to go make plays.
What did you do better on tight ends? I mean, Olsen coming in the game like last week with an awful lot of catches and things like that. And
I don't know if there's anything different that we did in our approach. It was really, we tried to make that game as much about us and our technique and the style that we wanted to play. So when we get right back down to how hard we play, how hard, connecting that we do, so there wasn't a special plan per se in for a certain player, regarding the tight end or the receiver in that game. It was just really a function of how well the guys played. I thought that, and third down as well. There wasn't a wholesale change in how we did things, but we did things better.
The numbers obviously reflected, but just when you watch it, the feel and the effort and all that does seem kind of like getting back to that stuff.
It did, and one of the things that I commented to the guys, I felt one of the things that I admire most about our team is how hard we play. And that jumped out to me in terms of some of the plays that was down on the goal line. There was a play like that in terms of how hard people were trying to jump over the pile to go get the ball. The ball was loose. We only got a couple of them. I thought we had a few more ops that we could have had, in the takeaway department. But it was good to see the ball, as we say, alive.
They did move it the first couple of series. I mean, held them out of the end zone, obviously. But, I mean, did anything change after that? I mean, after those first 2 series, it didn't do it at all.
not necessarily changed. I thought the coaches on the sideline did a good job knowing there was, some of the read option that went to it, new looks that maybe they've shown that we didn't have a chance to go through. So we had a chance to make some of the adjustments, and I thought the coaches on the sideline did a great job getting the guys connected and ready. They're a tough set to go against, so it was a good job by the fellas down on the field.
As it turned out, how much more blitzing did you end up doing?
Not necessarily anymore, when you go through the numbers of it. And it was really, the combination of, guys rushing for. There was a nice third down stop in there as well. And then, so I thought there was a good mix between the pressures, the coverages. And like I said, I think we are really at our best when we have all three of those elements really working together. The pressure that we can bring, the coverage, and then at times, all three of the guys with the rush too. So pleased in that area.
Yeah, Lewis playing.
KPL did a good job, and one of the things that you felt from him is really his speed. I think you may have saw it on a screen that was out to the defensive right, where he really closed to the runner. And I think that's the thing that you guys have probably heard us talk about him, is some of the things that jumps out to us on the field in the nickel situations where, covering a back and when we're playing zone, the way he can close. Those are the things that jumped out to us. It was no surprise for us to see how fast he was playing. I think over the last few weeks, us as coaches have felt maybe where the game has slowed down a little bit for him, where now he's, able to play fast and physical. So as you're going and you get more turns and you get more reps, you're able to play faster. I think that's really shown with him.
Despite having Coyle and Mike this week, would you still look to get KPL in on some?
Yeah, both the guys will definitely be a factor. And so for us, with Malk, being injured, both those guys have filled in, and we'll play them both in the game.
How about Brock's preseason experience? How much is that? If he didn't have that, he probably wouldn't be in this position.
And we always kind of make that comment when Bobby missed a large chunk of training camp, if you guys remember, with his injury. And so it gave an opportunity for Brock. And that's true with so many of these guys that have had their, opportunity to come up and play. When their opportunity came, they did a good job with it. We can count the number of guys on the team. So for us, all the confidence in the world in those two guys, knowing that, they can get the job done. And, like I said, tons of confidence in them.
When you first showed up in May, Coyle, what did you expect? An undrafted rookie at a Big Sky school.
The thing that we saw from him right off the bat was, one, we thought he was a good tackler. And I think when we came in here, we said, okay, what's his football smarts like? And he was the gym rat guy. He wanted more, stay extra, do the notes, hanging around with the guys. So he kind of kept making more plays as he was going. You could see, his intent of how hard he wanted to go for it. And special teams as well, because here's a guy like, a lot of the guys don't have a big role sometimes on special teams in college if you've been playing on offense or defense. So that was another area, he'd walk past the special teams coach and he'd be sitting in there asking questions. So for him, one of the things I respect most about just the work ethic that Brock brings to us.
How much do you try to utilize Tukuafu on your side of the ball? And what kind of role could you see him doing if you put him out there?
Yeah, we have a little bit of experience with Will, just from his first time here with us. So, we'll kind of keep a gauge on that. He hasn't done it in a while, but we certainly want to see and keep it alive in that way. One of the things, the size, the toughness that he brings, but we'll feature on offense first. He played in for us the first time around, so that's where, if we were going to bring him into the group, it'd be outside.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right, see you guys. You got it.